watching now. What up?
Welcome in, guys.
So are we going to talk about the real issues? Are
What
we going
are,
to talk about the real issues?
what are the real issues?
Let's hear this.
What Kendrick albums do we want to see at the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh,
I think if we get one, maybe two songs off Damn, we don't need more.
yeah, no, I agree.
I think we don't need it to be a Damn fest. I think
I-
Touch It and like
The problem is I don't really care for Humble anymore, but that's definitely going to be one of them. And then probably DNA.
Maybe not though. Whatever he played at the Super Bowl a couple years ago, he's probably not gonna do.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? He's got
He
enough.
had some
other
of his
hits.
biggest hits though. All right, I think he played.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what I mean? Like you don't want to retread. You don't want to do it again.
I got to rewatch that. He did only do like 2 songs there though, right?
Yeah, he did all right in one other one.
Okay.
Which sucks because
It was probably Humble.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to look back, but no.
I want some like B-sides from old stuff, like Money Trees, like
Oh,
It's not.
Money Trees might happen. Money Trees might. I could see Money Trees. It's
It
probably
don't kill my vibe though.
there's a chance.
I don't know if I need the 2015 party songs. I'd take them. I wouldn't be upset, but with limited time, you know, he can't do every song. I don't need like swimming pools.
No, yeah. I think Money Trees, Mad City. Those are like the 2 that I think are more likely to be played. I could see Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, but it's a little on the outskirts. I would be more shocked if that one got played than not. But King Kunta definitely getting played.
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah. But okay. I think that's probably all for albums. Do we think anything off Mr. Morale?
Yeah. So, all right. So my viewpoint, number one, when you say we don't need a Damn Fest, the problem is Damn was his most popular album, and that was like his peak until now.
do one or do a couple off of it, sure.
I'm down for Humble and DNA.
Yeah,
I'm good. Element would be all right, but any more than that, those
you know what he could do? Even though it wasn't like a big, huge song, the one with Rihanna.
loyalty.
Because loyalty. Because I almost said royalty. Because it has Rihanna, and then people have been waiting for Rihanna to come back, and they're good friends. So I could see, and people love guest stars. Like, oh shit.
That is part of it, like, because guests would play a factor. Like, do we think he brings the rest of Black Hippie up?
He might. I think Kendrick is both sides with it because it's him. Like, it could easily just be a fully either an independent Kendrick show or he's just bringing his people up. Not crazy.
Because if Black Hippie comes up, Money Trees is definitely getting played with J Rock. I would hope we get that part remix, the Black Hippie remix of it. That would be sick. I was waiting for that at the Pop Out show and they didn't do it, unfortunately. But that would be awesome at the Super Bowl to see. No, off Mr. Morale though, what would he play? Like N95?
Yes, in '95. What's the other big one? It's like my second favorite of the album.
I love Father Time. That's my shit.
I love
with
Father Time.
Sampha.
I can't.
He performed that live at SNL too.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
No, I'm.
That was a cool performance.
There's the one. I can't think of the name. It's my second favorite off the album. The Miss Regrets and all that. What's that one? Fuck, I can't even think of it. Anyway, that one I feel like could be played. Count Me Out.
Count Me Out. Yeah, that could be played. But now the real question is, we've kind of hit on probably every track that has a shot at getting played outside of the diss tracks. What diss tracks is he playing? Do we get to meet the Grams at the Super Bowl?
Maybe a reference to it, like the way how they did it at the Pop Out show with just the piano every now and then playing.
They're at least gonna be mentioned. in reality, like, do I think we're gonna get a full one? I don't think it's super likely. It'd be cool if we did.
We're not
but-
getting full tracks of anything.
Oh, yeah,
though.
yeah. I feel like they're mainly gonna get swept under the rug and maybe hinted at
Not
when
like
it
us
comes
has
down
to be played.
to it. Oh.
It's got to be played.
No. I keep telling you, man, it's the largest audience in the world.
And it's the biggest
most
rap song of all time.
But I'm just saying, man, like, I mean, I could see it just in that, like, him calling him a pedophile for the world to stage, like, I mean, that's kind of allowed again. You can, I don't know.
Or he could at the very least do a point the mic at the crowd and they say it.
I think we talked about this before. If
Yeah,
it's the last verse, the third verse of Not Like Us into the chorus, or chorus into the third verse, I think you're fine. Because I'm trying to think. He doesn't mention Drake by name in that part. He mentions a lot of other rappers.
But hold on. If you're gonna do Not Like Us, you have to play a minor part. You know what I mean?
But I don't think you do,
that
though.
First verse. You have to do the first verse.
That's the most disrespectful.
But I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna play the song, play the most popular part of the song. You know what I mean? There's no way he's gonna play the song and not do that the first verse.
I could see both though. I could see obviously what you're saying makes sense. And I would love that. That would be great. That would be great to
Super
see.
Bowl.
Yeah. I think yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is either just go straight first verse or nothing. You might be right. I hope. What about the one that gets slept on all the time, the first one? Euphoria. Well, oh yeah, my other question though. Euphoria probably doesn't get played. It's my favorite from the whole beef though. Euphoria is the one I'd still listen to the most. No, all 6.5 minutes by word, by heart. But Like That, does Like That get played?
Yeah, and then you could have
Mm-hmm.
come up. That'd be an ultimate win.
There's
Since
no
it
way
started
they'd
with
come
Metro
up. There's
and
no
Future.
shot.
Why not?
That'd be
Metro and
crazy,
Future.
I think no matter what, there are gonna be good surprise guest artists. There's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be good features with it. I don't know exactly who, but I mean,
There's gonna be someone we're not thinking of for sure. Every year there is.
I almost.
who's on Love? Is that like Zachary or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd take that.
I see
Like
that.
a little down. You
I
do like a
hate
hype
Love.
song and what?
I really do.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Like, damn.
I hate it. Yeah, Damn's all right.
I do like love. Yeah, man. You know that. But,
Feel is still probably
I haven't heard that in years.
it's probably like top 2 Kendrick songs for me though. Feel.
Which one? I can't think of the.
If I gotta
the
slap a pussy ass nigga, I'm gonna make you look sexy. Element.
Mm-hmm. That one. Yeah.
That was the music video. Remember, he was like beating somebody up in slow mo.
I don't
You
actually.
don't?
No.
That was literally the videos.
I remember the DNA video. And Schoolboy Q walks towards the camera looking all pissed off and shit.
Yeah, that one that starts in the interrogation room.
Yeah, with Don Cheadle. Yeah.
God, I forgot Don Chino was in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets Kung Fu Kenny at the end.
Yep. Yep.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
We're all massive Kendrick fans, by the way.
Listen to it every now and then.
Yeah.
They I don't know. It should be interesting. I saw a meme. Read a meme that was hilarious. It said like when we're talking about guest artists, the ultimate win is you bring J. Cole up and you play
No,
do
God.
first person shooter.
J. Cole,
J. Cole
I think,
comes
burned
up.
that bridge with his newest track or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he basically was like, Drake, you know, you did a lot for me. Like, I'll always be there for you.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Was it like anti-Kendrick?
I would say that sentiment in itself is kind of
Yeah.
anti-Kendrick.
No, I could see him being like, "Let me pick you up, friend. Like you're kind of down. Like everyone else hates you, but I like you." That's
Like-
not necessarily saying like, "Yeah, fuck that guy."
Obviously, this is like reading into it a little bit more than like most artists deserve or whatever. Like, no one deserves to have like their words and emotions picked apart like this. But by not having he doesn't mention Kendrick by name, doesn't mention like what happened at all in the thing. It's just him saying he's there for Drake is kind of like a slight to Kendrick in a way.
The lines have been drawn in the sand. They're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like there's two sides, and if you're only talking about one guy in a positive light and not the other guy, it just kind of makes you pick your side.
I just don't believe in, like, let's add more nuance. Like, we're adults. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah.
there's a way out to be, like, midline with it just a little bit, Just, again, like, be like, like...
you got to remember, this man made a diss track and released it to Kendrick.
Yeah, but he apologized, like, as he should.
I know, but the
he
process...
was like, I'm sorry, I love him.
The process of, like, writing that down, recording it, having it mastered, and then release it, is, like, a long process. It's not just, like... It's not like it all happened in one night. So, like, he had, like, at least days to think about this, and he still released it. Like, Kendrick doesn't have a J. Cole diss track, but J. Cole has a Kendrick diss track.
He took it down.
He did, but it's on the internet forever.
That's almost worse.
Yeah, it is kind of worse.
I think everything about it, like, makes J. Cole look...
I agree. I agree. J. Cole is a bigger man than I will probably ever be, but for that. But
Remember how much we killed him? I remember killing him for dropping out of the beef like a punk. And then it was like, after what happened to Drake facing Kendrick, it was like, oh yeah, J. Cole made the smartest move of his career.
But it's... I don't know. J. Cole took the worst route he could through that whole thing. He really did. If he had just not released a diss track and just stayed silent, it would have been way better. It's either get in or get out kind of thing.
I think now, but looking back on it, even though it's unprecedented to do that, like just immediately apologize, not even have anything hit back at you.
Oh, it was like 3 days though before he apologized.
No,
so like people were eating him alive for those 3 days. That's why it looks worse though, because he was just getting a ton of flack on the internet for it, and then he backtracked afterwards. Like that's kind of what it looks like, even if it's not.
I think it's even also like through fear of what like Kendrick was gonna respond with is the biggest thing, right? Like,
it's possible.
And
but...
he, based on his like speech, if we want to believe that, and kind of how he has always been as a person, technically, he didn't want that type of negativity surrounding like him anyway. Like I don't want to be a part of like this rap beef type of thing. I got a lot of respect for Kendrick. I got nothing but love for like his music. Like I don't want to go down this route. I think again, ultimately, at the end of the whole three-way beef or whatever, he came out looking okay because it's like, oh, he did the right thing for himself. He's like, nope, never mind. I don't want to be a part of negativity and all that shit. And I also want none of this guy. And otherwise, you could be, because the worst thing you could do is be Drake. Drake is the one who's like, drop, and then as the meme goes, Kendrick starts dropping stuff. Stop.
I agree. J. Cole looks better at the end of the beef, but there is a timeline where J. Cole stays out of it and maybe makes like a statement or two to like the public and looks way better. Yeah. Or there's another timeline where J. Cole's just in the middle of this, just going at, making diss tracks at Kendrick too.
Can you imagine if he went full in and so Kendrick was just hitting at him and Drake? Like, do we get more tracks or just verses in the tracks we got, just dedicated also to J.
It would have been messy for sure. It would have been a mess. Because, like, Kendrick has to reply to 2 people at one time. It would have been a mess.
It would have been kind of like what people were criticizing Drake's for. Like, why are you hitting Kendrick for 2 verses, but then you're going at featuring the Weeknd?
That's the thing, though. Kendrick, I believe this in my bones. Kendrick would have made separate diss tracks for both of them. Like, I believe if it would have been so messy, Kendrick would have titled one like, "This one's for you, J. Cole," like just to make sure they know, like this one's at you. Because Kendrick wants all the smoke. He made that very clear. He did not care if he won, lost, or died over that beef.
He was looking at like 10 years out when people go back and listen to this. Like,
yeah.
I feel like Drake was like, they're gonna hear this tomorrow, and Kendrick was like, my grandkids are gonna listen to this.
Yeah, you
This is
can't.
my legacy right here.
You can't like explain away Meet the Grams. Like that's not like one where you can just be like, yeah, it just wasn't as popular as Family Matters or whatever.
We're ready to be a reaction YouTube channel too, by the way. Just being like, oh fuck!
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about doing it for Super. When I get to Super, just
Okay. Yeah. That'd be
be
cool.
lost.
I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
You can still catch up to Cameron, man. There's enough left.
The way I watch anime is binging it. So like it's like 12-hour sessions that I do. So
I'm telling you, that's what I did for a month and got through all of Dragon Ball and half of Dragon Ball Z, and there's still like another half to go after that point.
what if, and hear me out, I skip the filler episodes?
That is an option. I didn't do that. So I just got all the stupid shit that like doesn't matter at all.
Goku and Piccolo driving cars around.
I actually like that one.
Everybody loves it. That's like the most beloved filler episode in anime history.
But
Cars
if you-
exist in the Dragon Ball universe?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like modern society. Just
But weird. There's
Yeah.
dinosaurs and shit.
yeah, there are dinosaurs. Yeah, they don't really talk about that though.
And they just go out to areas where it's just rocks to fight.
Yeah,
There's
yeah. Every fight scene is like in the same kind of area. Like everyone.
the joke is because there's millions. They've had years of worth of fighting games, which also like made the fandom continue on all these years. The main fighting level is just called Wasteland, and then there's Wasteland 2, Wasteland at Night, Wasteland 3.
Also, no spoilers. I'm still in the Boo saga.
Oh, I wasn't.
No. Comments. Leave a comment, just not about Boo saga.
So legitimately, yeah, if you cut out the filler,
If you made it this far.
if you cut out the filler, if you cut out, yeah. What's up, Cameron's sisters? And
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, my dad.
Yeah.
What's up, family member?
I hope my parents didn't watch this.
No, there was no, they if you cut out the filler, you probably cut out like 1 day worth of viewing shit because there's a ton of filler.
It's probably more than a day. I'll tell you just from experience.
Well, hey, I helped you out. You cut out a whole filler arc.
That was 10 episodes.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
We're talking about 280 episodes. We cut 10 of them out, and you were like, hey, look at that. Saved you 4 hours.
So here's the deal. Cameron, I'm gonna give him the respect because he went the long route. Audience who are Dragon Ball Z fans. I said to you before you got started, I was like, you could just start with Z, which is what most of us did, and then you learn about Dragon Ball later on. Or if you want the full totality of everything and fully enjoy and care about all the characters enough by the time you get to Super, you can start at Dragon Ball. He started at Dragon Ball, so he watched the true origin beginning series.
I kind of regret it. Because none of the Dragon All characters matter anymore.
I told you.
Like 95% of them are just gone. The only ones that matter are Goku and Bulma.
Two things though. No, two things to that though. One, like I said, the more respect and appreciation
Yeah.
though for where people began and how it all started.
Mm-hmm.
And you've said multiple times that you kind of loved Dragon Ball.
No,
differently.
I did.
Some people say it's a better show than Dragon Ball Z. That's a very small opinion.
I will say Dragon Ball has way more filler than Z, though. So you could legitimately probably cut out nearly half of Dragon Ball and still get like the, the main points of Dragon Ball. But no, I do kind of agree though. Z is all just like new threat, let's level up and beat them kind of thing. Dragon Ball was not that at all. It was like yeah, it was just like an adventure of like a a small child as they grow up. Yeah. So it was better in some ways to Z. Z, there's still like, I like the like powering up stuff, the improving. Yeah.
So Austin, like Dragon Ball is so much more grounded. I mean, like for context purposes of how much more grounded, it's literally more grounded. Every character can fly in Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball, in the series, pretty much the series finale, like that's like the big thing that happens is like Goku finally learns to fly. by the time Z comes around, everyone's flying everywhere like they're a jet. Like they just fly to every location.
Well, in some ways, though, watching Dragon Ball kind of ruined some of the characters for me that I actually liked in Dragon Ball because, like, I liked Yamcha in Dragon Ball, and then in Z, it's just like, man, you are like pitiful. Like you are.
I told you Yamcha was gonna come.
Yeah, but it's even like Tien. Tien was like probably
Tien
my
is
favorite
actually-
character in Dragon Ball.
Tien is still to this day beloved by the fandom because he is the strongest human like on Earth. He's stronger than Krillin. So
Really?
yeah,
They don't really show it. I would say.
It's most pronounced in the Cell Saga. Like literally, if you notice, like he's way outpaced Krillin. He is the strongest human. Like, and that is, by the way, that's Ten Shinhan's moment. The fucking tri-beam holding Cell off.
They tried to give him another one in Boo, and it didn't work. So yeah.
Yeah. His most beloved moment is that, like the moment with Cell. That's the most badass moment. But yeah, no, Tien. I mean, I know what you mean but I kind of told you I was gonna happen.
I know, but it doesn't take away like the pain of like seeing Yamcha just be a bitch.
I love the first bit of him watching like Dragon Ball Z. It's like, where's Launch? Where's this character? I was like, you might so should just forget.
Yep. Yeah, it was just this whole band of the whole cast. They were all like very vital to Dragon Ball, and then you can't even really say they got replaced though because it's more just they put more shine and emphasis on like the main cast rather than the side cast.
Well, I told you this, and this isn't like a spoiler or whatever. Dragon Ball Z, and really from Dragon Ball Z onward through Super, if you get outpaced in terms of power, you don't matter.
Yeah.
Like
Piccolo's the only one.
Yeah, what the fuck is Tien gonna? And Piccolo barely still matters. Yeah. Well, what the fuck is Tien gonna do? He wasn't even as strong as like second form Cell.
I've noticed now though that Piccolo really only matters in like mentoring other people. Like that's his only like purpose anymore. It seems like. So.
Piccolo is everyone's favorite. He's the closest thing to a black character, by the way.
He's all right. I've seen that like online that people love Piccolo and Vegeta. Maybe I'm just not there yet.
So two things. So do you kind of get the Vegeta fandom
Yeah,
yet?
of course.
So yeah, no Vegeta.
I get it. I don't really like him still.
It's interesting that you say that because I don't know. You have a lens of not growing up with it and none of the cultural thing with it. Like most people our age grew up with Dragon Ball. There's like I told you, there's three camps of people. You're a Goku person, you're a Vegeta person, you're a Gohan person. Like those are the three camps.
I'd say so far I'm Goku.
See, that's wild to me because like basically Goku's had like no character development, like basically from the start of Z on, and that kind of continues through Super too. Is like he's already like benevolent. He's like already like a super nice guy and like in that sort of way. So really Goku just gets stronger. There's no real character development. That's like one of the fatal flaws of Goku as a character that people don't like about him is that he's super simple. He's already like a good guy. He's kind of boring in a way. Like he's beloved because he's always a bright, positive person, but like there's no more character development for him, right? Whereas Vegeta and Piccolo, you see the full arcs and everything continue.
Yeah. It is kind of weird because I'm usually like a sucker for character development. Yeah, but
I figured you'd be a Vegeta guy.
It's to a certain point where Vegeta still hasn't made like the full change. I think is more so the problem. He's still an asshole. I assume there's something to come, but
Who's to say?
He's just still an asshole at this point. I've gotten to the point where they've
But you got to the moment.
Yeah.
Like a top 2.
I know, but then it ended and he was still like being a fucking dick. So, I'm just not.
His ornery persona is him. But
for sure.
But,
I like him as a character. He's just never going to be my favorite if like keeps going like that. Got any other shows we can all talk about and not leave Austin out? I haven't watched the new season. I don't know. Okay. I was thinking about it like the other week. I was like, yeah, we should watch that.
Reaction channel.
Yeah. Let's do it. We can watch them all back with Austin.
That would be amazing.
I know.
That would be amazing for like 2 moments specifically that I would want to see.
Yeah, no, you're right. I know one of them for sure.
I think. Well, you watched Demon Slayer up until like not.
Yeah,
most
yeah.
recent seasons. I think
Yeah.
you would like Demon Slayer. Like,
Yeah.
It's not just like a popular for no reason show. It does stand up.
How much is it? Like how many episodes and stuff?
It's not that long.
Nah, you could get if you went at the pace you watched Berserk at, you could get through it in like probably 2 weeks. Through the show of Berserk, not the reading, but
I feel like we're all like this to a certain degree, like all human beings. Like if you sense something is popular, you're kind of you're either like, oh yeah, I want to see why it's popular or whatever, or you go the other route where it's like, I don't want to be like everyone else. So like certain stuff like Demon Slayer, I'm like, I see that everywhere. Do I want to?
Have you watched Naruto?
I wanted to. I got started on it, but it's so long and I dropped off, so I didn't finish it.
I'd put Demon Slayer similar to Naruto and like the general vibe and like premise of it, like plot and like action wise, kind of not exactly, but close to it.
Yeah, I told you this already, Cameron. I have to replace all the time I spent like following politics, and also trying to keep my mind off of politics. So I'm planning on like going further into like watching TV shows again, which I stopped doing entirely, movies, and like right now I'm listening to shitloads of audiobooks, specifically love-based audiobooks for whatever reason. But like yeah, so basically what I'm getting at is I'm gonna have the time.
hmm.
What's that movie series called?
I am hyped for Stranger Things though.
I'm gonna, I'm alright.
For everyone,
I'll watch
just
it,
so
but
everyone knows, Cameron's trying to be the one contrarian who's like, "Oh, I'm not super hyped for the finale of Stranger Things."
it's a bunch of
Season
things.
4 was fucking fantastic.
It was.
We all know.
It was. But it's a bunch of things that make me feel the way I am. And one of them is that this show, it's been 4 seasons to this point, and it's taken fucking forever to come out.
Oh yeah.
It's been 4 seasons, and when did it start? Like 2016?
Yeah, 2015 or 16.
Yeah, and we're in 2024, and we're talking about a 5th season coming out who knows when.
Hey, 2 things. One, when it does come out, fucking quality.
Yeah,
Quality
no,
shit.
it's going to be good.
A-tier shit. But also,
I just can't get hyped for it. Like, it's been years.
Stranger Things 4, they said, like, the reason why is because of the pandemic. Literally, it basically, like, ruined that one. So that one got elongated for that reason. That's also why the episodes were so long. Like, every episode was over an hour long because they were, like, basically trying to make up for all that lost time. So they basically gave us 2 seasons worth of
but
content.
there was a gap between season 2 and season 3 as well.
Yeah,
I don't
it's taken,
remember,
like, 2
but I feel
years
like
or-
there was even a gap between 1 and 2.
I feel like those were the quickest ones.
They might have been, but I feel like there was still a gap.
And then 2 to 3, yeah, that was big. Obviously, 3 to 4 was huge.
Mm-hmm.
But they did promise, as soon as season 4 ended, they did promise that, like basically that the newest one is it's gonna come out quicker. Like it should be coming out like next year.
It's just like and obviously media does this all the time where they'll like portray adults as like high schoolers and stuff. But this is a little different because they're like supposed to be portrayed as like freshmen in high school now, and all of these people are like full grown adults. They're like 22 to like 24 at this point.
Mike is bigger than all of us. He's
Right.
legitimately, I think he's like 6'3" or something.
Yeah. And these guys are supposed to be freshmen. I don't know if there's going to be a time jump. It doesn't really work with the end of season 4 though. But
No, they already said like it's gonna be the first one. It's like an immediate pickup because it
that's since they filmed all this though, it's been 4 years. It has been 4 years since they filmed season 4.
we can all fanfic predict what's gonna happen because I have an idea.
Do you watch Stranger Things, Austin?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I hit that hard.
Okay.
I mean,
it
you're
was
not-
one of the binge shows, so it's like in one day go through all of it.
Yeah, for sure. I watched all of season 1 in one night. I remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I remember being hyped for season 2 so much. I watched it because it came out like Halloween night. I watched it all the way through the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, season 2 I watched in over the course of 2 days, but it was like I watched 6 episodes one night and then the next 2 as soon as I woke up.
I will say, I don't know exactly how to word it. While you're watching it, it's very impactful, but it doesn't stay with you like other shows do.
Season 1 stuck with me. I would say you're right with
It's
every
a little
other
like
season.
it
though.
evaporates, a little ethereal. Not to say it doesn't like in the moment get there and like get the reaction out of you as the
For
viewer,
sure.
but like
I feel like
Season 1 got me though.
season
Can't lie.
1 when it became a phenomenon, and season 4, which is like the best one. Like I mean, I remember hearing people talk about it for like days, like legitimately. I mean, there's a reason why Running Up That Hill rejoined the top 10.
Mhm.
Like,
that is a bob.
It
I'm
is
sorry
Bob.
for 87 songs, but
For sure. Yeah. Season 4 was great.
shouts to Kate Bush. Check out her album.
Yeah.
if you ever heard of Kate Bush,
It's only 40 years old.
There was something special about season 1 though. It was like the timing of it when it came out, the vibe of the show, all that was all like fresh and new, and now it's been done like 80s like stuff is like all over the place now. 90s stuff is all over the place. It's
The nostalgia property left, but even still, the quality of it, and I think it's gonna be kind of an end of an era too, because yes, all the '80s nostalgia reached a fever pitch from like the end of the 2010s through the 2020s, but we're finally coming on the other end of it now. We're going more into '90s stuff. Like you can most see that in like I would say like look at the Weeknd. Like Weeknd just decided I'm just gonna be an '80s tribute artist. And those albums were great, and he had plenty of hits. But like, if you notice, the last couple songs he dropped, not the same buzz because he's still doing the '80s thing, and it's kind of passe now.
It was honestly though with season 1 it was like the mystery, like for that entire season you have no idea what the hell's going on, no clue, you can't even guess, like you have no idea what's happening, and then every season after that it's like you kind of know what's happening.
the later seasons got really into like the whole group splits up into smaller groups. They're all doing their own thing, and at the very end it collides.
Yeah.
Which there are satisfying parts of that, and it is nice when it all comes together. But I kind of remember in the middle of it, I'm like, all right, we're in
For
Alaska
sure.
now, and then we're just like in a van, and then like
That was the worst part of season 4 was the
it got
Russia stuff.
pretty spread out
Yeah.
before it came back together. And while it was spread out, it was just like jump, jump, jump. Wait, what were they doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got really huge. They even said it was hard to like do because the cast has expanded so much and everything has gotten so much bigger. But I agree, the Russia stuff. The reason why I didn't like the Russia stuff really is because it felt so ungrounded anymore. Whereas even though we're dealing with like an alternate dimension, all that stuff, it's relatively grounded in reality. The odds of you being able to like a random woman, some random guy breaking out a random dude at some Siberian jail cell, it's all fucking insane.
The power of friendship was strong in that.
Right. The only reason why it works is because it's all supposed to be an '80s tribute thing, right? And the idea being that we were all pro Cold War, anti Russia around that time, and they were basically trying to homage things like fucking Rambo and shit like that, or in that idea of like going against,
Like a little MacGyvery, maybe. Like
right. So that's what they kind of turned Hopper into. Forgot all the characters.
Jesus.
So this
Hello.
We got a dog.
We can edit that out.
We're gonna leave it in. We can edit it out, but we're gonna
I
leave
know.
it in.
It's just like clip it, and it's like, yeah, all right. Anyway, all right. I forget. There's so many people in the cast, but
Can we explain who they are as we go through? Because I'm not great with just the name.
Nancy is everyone's bae.
Not anymore.
Not a fan of Nancy.
She's like the dark haired
I fucks with Nancy.
older
I used to.
sister. Yeah.
Mike's older sister, God damn, it really is like a family tree. Mike's older sister, Nancy. Steve or Jonathan? First off, for Nancy.
And Steve and Jonathan are
Steve,
It's not
the
even a
Hair
question.
Harrington. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Hair
of course.
Harrington.
And then Jonathan, which is Will's older brother, who Nancy got with.
Oh,
2
the
seasons.
like,
The
yeah.
weak cliche nerd one. Weakling of names.
Didn't Jonathan late into it get like weird,
Yeah, he became a stoner and shit.
like the bad kind of stoner?
Yeah, he was just like a burnout and didn't have anything going for him. That was him in season 4.
Steve had more like a peer arc where he like went from goofy to like actually standing up for things.
Oh yeah,
Steve is the most beloved character you could argue.
he is. It's him and now I can't think of Dustin.
No, fuck no.
What?
Fuck no. Hopper? Come on.
Hopper's up there. I just don't think to me the best moments of like season 2 and season 3 were like Dustin and Steve just like fucking around.
Yeah, but like I don't think Dustin has near the fandom that Steve does. I think
Dustin's-
Hopper.
Dustin's a little chipmunk.
Those early seasons, I think Dustin was like the season 1. I think Dustin was the standout, and then season 2 it was Steve and Dustin.
You think Dustin was the standout of? Okay, we're having a lot of discussions here.
Hopper was great. He's been great all the time. I just don't think he was like. If I remember
in
back
He
to
season
shined
one.
bright in small moments.
Yeah.
Not in season 1, but Mike stood out more than Dustin.
like from an acting perspective or like a lovable character's perspective.
I think it was, especially in those first few seasons, he was really treated as like the titular character of like the younger group.
Yeah, he was like the main character for sure, but that doesn't make him like the most lovable. We just talked about how Steve's like the best character in the show, and he's not the main character.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think Dustin stood out that much.
I think Dustin was the standout. He was getting like he was on like Fallon and stuff
They
on
all
his
were,
own,
they all
but
were.
on his own, and
They
he
all-
wasn't the main character.
In fact, I would dare say now that we're saying that 11, like specifically Millie Bobby Brown was nominated for an Emmy for the
Yeah.
first season. Like, she
Oh,
stood-
really?
She stood out.
She portrayed like feral child really well.
Yeah,
Which can't
yeah.
be an easy thing to do. Like not
Yeah.
fully a human. Like
For
that's
sure,
gotta
yeah.
be difficult to,
Yeah,
to portray.
Yeah,
Although-
now that I think about it,
I don't really remember my childhood, but I feel like I could have been like a feral kid if if someone put a camera on me.
Well, like just being like unfamiliar with language even. Like
she was great.
Yeah.
The funny part is one of those things where it's like you retcon shit. Like in season 4, they have multiple flashbacks to them talking when she was technically younger or right before she broke out of the place, and she's just talking fine. But in season 1, she like can barely speak English and knows what things are.
she was detached from society.
So Steve or Jonathan for Nancy's love though.
Steve, not even close. It's not a question.
Okay, so let me just say Jonathan was when he had more agency and like he actually did shit.
Season 1, Team Jonathan.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jonathan was like my favorite character through most of the series. In season 4, they kind of gave him nothing to do. He's just like it's like a wrong for the ride. But
Oh, I was off Jonathan. Season
seasons
2.
1, 2, and then even 3 he was fine for the most part. He just didn't do much. He's very much just a ride along character,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of sucks because he had way more storyline purposes in seasons 1 and 2. Jonathan's peak was season 2.
Well,
That's when
yeah.
him and Nancy
sure.
hooked up. But anyway, it's interesting because they've done a really great love triangle, which is hard to pull off. That doesn't like piss off everyone in the audience, which is kind of doing. But anyway,
The love triangle's over though.
no, it's not. That's what I'm getting at. Is dude, they have like a perfect setup of she could get with either one, and I think they've also set up that one of these fuckers is dying, Jonathan or Steve.
We
They
talked
die.
about this season 4 though.
It's kinda
I
wild they
think
made it this far.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
love
I
killing off that
they really
demographic.
they really teased that Steve was gonna die in the last one.
Right, but they didn't, and they could be saving that for season 4
Mm-hmm.
or
Season 5. Yeah.
season 5, or they could swerve you and kill off Jonathan. That's what I'm getting at. Is this ends these three's main story all circle around each other. It's all just the love triangle mainly, and who ends up with Nancy in the end, right? they've set it up that
That's their whole character. Their goals as characters. Who ends up
sad,
with
but
Nancy.
whatever. Again, Nancy, we love.
She's okay.
Dude,
She's got like a career going.
I fucking love Nancy. They basically made her Ripley. It's great. Like she's
kind of Ripley.
She's
Yeah.
totally Ripley now.
Kinda.
She's like literally like maybe the second most badass character now on the show. Like the amount of shit she does, like without fear, like Nancy's like an all.
Okay, wait. Who's the most badass in the show?
I feel like it's Hopper, right? They give him the
Yeah.
most badass
So I was
moment.
thinking Hopper though, but then you wouldn't put like 11.
Yeah, but she has powers. It's different.
Uh,
Nancy-
Nancy has the power of womanhood though, so we gotta balance them out. She's a strong female lead.
No, legitimately though, just to be clear, Nancy's arc and what she's become is like the most amazing out of everything. Like she's just like season 1, scared teen, peer pressure is her biggest problems in life. By the end of that season, you know, fighting for the vengeance of Barb, R.I.P.
We don't talk about Barb.
Yeah, and how remember
that?
and then
Do you actually not remember?
No, fucking.
Okay.
Barb was around. I guess.
Very little.
Oh yeah, she did die, didn't she? Oh yeah, no, let's go back forward.
She died a horrible death.
What was her name again?
It's pretty bad. Too lonely, embarrassed,
Yeah.
slaughtered. Anyway, there's a slug in her in the finale.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. Just for Barb. Anyway, no, she peer pressure, and then even by the end of season 1, she makes a deal with not Steve, Jonathan. It's like we're gonna catch this fucking thing, and then just goes after it herself. Season 2, badass as well. Season 3 is when she did the journalism thing and was like a writer and all that. Yes, because season 2 she was trying to do all this stuff about getting justice for Barb and all this shit and like taking down the organization that like runs that building and going right up against them in that way. Season 3 she's working in journalism and everything else, and it's like one of the main ones with the kids fighting the fucking, you know, mind flayer thing. And then you got season 4, she's just straight up like Ripley. Like between the journalism stuff that she's trying to do, always uncover things. She's just a very active character. She's super proactive, and they always say like that's the best, most engaging characters you want to have is the ones who are proactive. Nancy is always trying to solve the problem and get things done. She's not a ride along character. She's just like, oh, this is the problem, let's fix some shit. So big Nancy fan.
It's just everybody in Stranger Things is like that though.
No,
Like literally all of them are like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll come.
I feel like Hopper just like goes out of the house in the middle of the night with just a shovel because no one else is gonna do it, and then he beats it to death with the shovel, and then the next thing happens. Like,
so anyway, getting back to it though, this love triangle. Basically, so yeah, because if you think about it from the beginning, she's with Steve, then she sticks up for Jonathan and kind of stays with Steve, but like now Steve and Nancy are friends with Jonathan at the end of season 1. Season 2, she clearly likes Jonathan. What's her name? She's clearly likes Jonathan, so she breaks up with Steve at the end, and she and Jonathan get together. Season 3, she and Jonathan are just together the whole time. They're having like some couple issues, whatever else, and move on. Season 4, though, she and Jonathan are states apart from each other, and there's all this distance and friction, and they're deciding if they still want to stay together or not. Meanwhile, she's reconnected with Steve, who's had an entire arc of growing as a character. She's starting to re-fall for Steve, but she's technically, as of right now, as of this date, still with Jonathan.
Yep.
So one of them's got to die.
Can't be Steve.
I think that's too easy, though.
I do think it's too easy, but aren't her and
There's-
Jonathan in real life like
yeah, that
dating?
ain't mean shit. Don't do anything different.
I do feel like it's influenced the trajectory of the show though. I feel like they've kept them together for as long as they have because they were dating in real life.
what if
At least in the beginning. I feel like they could have played way more into the love triangle in like seasons 2 or 3. Like having her like flip-flop back and forth.
I don't think they wanted that, though.
Maybe not. This is all speculation.
What are the odds they have Steve turn evil? Like he gets
0.
infected with something.
0.
No?
I stopped watching.
Negative 5.
So 0.
What they did with Billy in season 3. Yeah, no. The whole fandom, like people would be losing their mind on social media, like, oh, now we gotta kill Steve.
Can we all agree on the worst character in the show, though?
8. You remember 8?
Not really.
That's because they retconned her out because no
In
one liked that
season 2?
episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
No.
I don't
Of the
remember
main
this.
cast. Of the main
You're
cast.
not supposed to.
Of the main cast, who's the worst?
There's so many people.
No,
Is
but
it
who's
wrong
the
to say
worst?
Mike?
Eh,
He's just like a guy.
he's
But
not my
like,
least
he was
favorite.
more proactive though. In season 4, he didn't do shit. Though.
Yeah.
He literally was just like,
Yeah.
love 11. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why, like,
It sucks
season
when-
1 sticks out to
Oh.
me, but
8 is part of the whole punk group that
Yeah.
just.
Episode.
There were a
No.
couple good moments, but yeah,
Worst
the whole thing.
of all the names you got written down there, who's the worst?
Not even all of them.
Well, yeah, no, just of the names you got written
in their
down.
current state, Jonathan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jonathan sucks now.
Will.
Why do you hate Will?
Will, the worst
Wow.
one.
This is the right
Will.
word shift. This is the right word shift for Cameron back to the right.
I don't know if you guys are
Even
up
the
on your
gays.
culture war stuff, but he's a huge Israel supporter. Just so you both
I
know.
think I do.
Yeah. Like, a very outspoken. Does that change your opinion on the character of Will? Like, villain.
Like you want him to die. Like I want him to die now.
Yes. Even in the show, I'm tired of Will anyway, though.
The way he's presented is a little ass. like-
Yeah. He's just been whining.
He's just he's struggling with his sexuality in the 80s.
That's fine. We got a show with monsters and shit, though. Like,
No one cares about you.
the
You crush over
entire
your best
season
friend.
4 was all ramping up towards like some finale, and it didn't fucking happen in season 4. But
That does check out for 80s movies, though, where someone's coded as gay, but it's never actually addressed specifically.
he's
top-
way more like it's way more
The top moment
known for
is
Will,
literally-
though.
The top
But,
10 moment
yeah,
in the season is literally his turn and cry.
it has been memed to. Yeah, it's just memed all over. But
Good ass acting.
it's good acting, sure. It
But
I
he is-
I don't like the character though. Just whining all the time. I don't got time for it. We got monsters to kill.
Yeah, and you're
It's Steve. Steve's the perfect example. He had his girlfriend fucking leave him for some loser, and he's right back into it, saving the world, never complains about it, has become a better person.
and he's pathetic too. He's done nothing in his life.
Yeah,
too. It's
no.
like-
But the second the world needs saving, Steve's fucking there.
He's
That's
a
why
golden
Steve's
retriever
great.
of a guy.
He really is, and those are the best kind of guys.
He's so rootable. Like you just root for
He is. You know who's not rootable? Will.
No, I thought you were gonna say Jonathan.
Jonathan too. They're kind of the same. And they're brothers, so
Yeah, I
it
was
makes
about to say
sense.
that,
But
that's right.
maybe they did it on purpose. But
So I'll say this about Jonathan because I'm gonna stick up for who was my favorite.
I
character
liked him
the
in
3
season
seasons.
1. I liked
He
him.
just, and this is, I like what I really respect about the show is they do take. There's different forms of people, different types of people, right? Jonathan just became a fucking burnout. Like he's not even technically bad. It's just like he's just the most simple. Like Jonathan had no direction in life, and that was it. He just smokes weed, and is struggling with a long distance relationship in the 80s, mind you, with his girlfriend. That's as relatable as anything else. And he's a softie. We already knew that about him, so that's why he's not like a big go-getter like other characters are in the show. Like he's like, you know, he's a wuss. I mean, he's not.
There's nothing relatable about Jonathan.
Everything I just said. is pretty
He's not positioned well at the moment.
I really don't.
He's ripe for a comeback, but
Or to die.
or to death. I feel
Imagine-
like a hollow death. Like, I
Imagine
wanna-
the whole what's their last name?
Liars.
Yeah, imagine the whole Byers family just all die.
Is that what you want? Just,
Yeah,
you want their mom to
2/3
just
of
be,
them.
You want their mom to just be
2/3 of
after
them.
everything she's gone through this entire season.
Not
she
her.
want- no, but
she's
after
fine.
everything. No, that's worse.
They all die.
Yeah.
Hopper puts on the Red Guardian costume and fights.
She already thought one of her kids dies. She's like ready for it. She's like,
experienced it.
she'll get
deserves
through
rest once it happens, but don't kill her off.
yeah, she'll get through it.
literally, what are we talking about right now? You can, so just for the audience, you can tell we're not parents because the shit you're saying is most anti-parent. Every parent says you do not want to have the death of a child. You rather die yourself.
Let them take that hit.
So you guys saying like, oh no, let her live. You know, she's going through a lot. The worst thing would be both of her children die.
This is Stranger Things we're talking about. I'm here for the
kill
entertainment. If we don't care about Barb, we don't care about Will.
I think legitimately the two most ironclad characters are Will and Jonathan. For Will specifically, he can't die because otherwise it'll further it'll further go down the road in the trait of, and this is a real thing in pop culture and when movies and TV is killing. I forget what it's actually called, the phrasing of it, but basically killing gay characters, right? Like they can never be happy. And you use them.
So we'll
and that would be further going down that cliche route, and I don't want to see that.
In the same scene, we take one gay character and one straight character, Will and his brother, just one full swoop. It's even.
That family is literally the worst off, and you want them to suffer.
I'll trade you one gay character for two gay characters, and we throw like. We can't kill what's her name
I know what you're talking about, Maya Hawke's character.
Yeah. Can't kill her because she should have died last season, to be honest, but she lives, so we can't kill her now. Lucas has too much character growth coming.
What if Will dies but 11 is bi?
Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, her and why can't we think of her name?
Maya Hawke's character.
Yeah, why can't we think of her name?
That says a lot about that character.
No, she's been one of my favorites though. Cool. Those two can be together.
No, Maya Hawke was gonna she already got with that one band chick.
Oh, the girl, the like dorky nerdy girl that worked with Steve. Is that who you're talking about?
Oh no, I was talking about the redhead girl.
Oh, you talking about her? She's with Lucas.
That's what I was saying before with her and Lucas.
Why am I forgetting her? She had her best season last.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is she basically died. We can't kill her now. She's at a low point.
So a few fan theories are that like because they kind of alluded to it at the end of season 4 that if you've ever been connected to like the Mind Flayer / number 1 Vecna whatever the fuck.
Oh, that you all die when.
No, they like basically they're gonna between Will, 11, and. The three of them, Max.
It is, yeah, Max.
Between them, they're gonna all team up to try to take them down together mentally. Like she's gone, but her soul is still there, and she's a part of Vecna now forever. So they're gonna like combine, and then Will's even still connected. It's that type of thing. I've seen like a theory about that, like that she's not actually gone.
Will can leave his ass at home when this happens. Will can stay at home and cry.
There's some theories though about like even the Upside Down. The Duffer Brothers already said they're gonna answer every single question that's left. They're gonna answer every single question that's left. They're gonna answer every single question that's left. In the next season, like what the origins of the Upside Down was. I think I kind of can get what it is. It's like a dimension frozen in time type of thing. And this is kind of alluded to in season 4 when like Nancy noticed like the date. Like she was in her room in the Upside Down. She's like looking at her journal. It's like this is from like this date from like a couple years ago. That's weird. So
was it created on that date by something and now can't move past it?
Something like that.
Me too.
But... All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for this one. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell as well. You'll see us again real soon. You know, always remember what's up is down, what's right is left, but there's plenty of fun times ahead. Let's get it.
Drink water.